Thank you very much. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the school edition. This is teacher Elias Wachero, and today I have mathematics grade 7, and under it I want us to look at a strand known as measurement. And under measurement, there's a substrand called Pythagorean relationship, and under it there we are looking at the sides of a right angle triangle. Sides of a right angle triangle. Now, under the sides of a right angle triangle, I've already drawn this right angle triangle here, and we just need to identify how the parts are called so that when we'll be doing the Pythagorean relationship, we'll now be able to referring to them as per the names that I'm about to give. Now, from this side to this side is what we call, from this side to this side is what we call the perpendicular height. From this side to this end is what I call the perpendicular height. It is called the perpendicular height, that is from here to here, which is 8 meters. Then from this side to this side is the base. This one is called the base. Then from this end to this end, which is 10 meters, is what we call the hypotenuse. This is what we call the hypotenuse. So I know now we are able to refer to them by the names that I've just given you. This one is called the perpendicular height, from this side to this height, from this end to this end. Then from here to here is what we call the base. Then from here to here is what we call the hypotenuse. Now, how can we best identify the hypotenuse? We can simply say that hypotenuse is the longest area of the right angle triangle. The longest area of the right angle triangle is what we call the hypotenuse. Then its base is definitely a base. Then the height from here, we call it a perpendicular height. If you are ready about, we now know what the hypotenuse is. We now know what the perpendicular height is, and we now know what the base is. Let's get right into how to calculate the Pythagorean. When it comes to Pythagorean theorem, we are simply looking at how these sides are related, and that is why we call it Pythagorean relationship and not Pythagorean theorem, the way it used to be referred to sometimes back. Now, for this side, in short, we are saying for us to find how these sides are related, we can conclude and say that the sum of two shorter sides squared will give us the hypotenuse. The sum of two sides squared will give us hypotenuse squared. Now, in short, it means then that base squared plus perpendicular height, base squared plus perpendicular height squared, base squared plus perpendicular height squared will be equal to hypotenuse squared. Will be equal to hypotenuse squared. Now, how do we calculate that? Then, if we substitute this one, it means then, that b squared plus a squared is equals to c squared. I repeat, we said that for us to know how all these sides are calculated, the sum of two shorter sides, that is the perpendicular height and the base squared, the sum of the two shorter sides squared is equals to hypotenuse squared. Now, how do we get that? And that is why I've substituted b squared plus a squared is equals to c squared. So assume that you've been given this b and a, and you have been asked to find c. In short, you've been asked to find c. In short, you've been asked you've been given the perpendicular height together with the base, and now you are asked to find the hypotenuse. How will you go about that? Do you remember the figure that was here? Here it was 8. So let's say this is 8 meters and this one is 6. Now, when you come to our formula here on how to find c squared, what do? We'll come here and do 8 squared. We'll write 8 squared plus 6 squared is equals to c squared. 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to c squared. That is why I said the sum of two shorter sides. The sum of two shorter sides squared. Now, when you come here, please be careful. Don't confuse this and start multiplying this. No, square means that you are multiplying that number by itself and not multiplying that number by 2. That is here. You are multiplying the number by itself, right? This one also means you are multiplying the number by itself. Now, it means then that 8 squared, what is 8 squared? Good, 8 squared is 64. It means then if 8 squared is 64 plus, how about 6 squared? You'll get 6 squared, it will be 36. Then that is what we find there, which we've called the hypotenuse, which will be squared. Now, 64 plus 36, very quick. 64 plus 36, 0, that is 10. That is 10. So this one will be a 100 is equals to c squared. So we've done this. 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36. Then when we add, we said the sum of two shorter sides is equals to what? This other side. So then it means then this side is what? Is 16. So in short, we say C, which we have been given, is equals to is equals to 100 squared. Is equals to 100 squared. 100 squared. We come to do what? We come to find its square root now. Its square root. So what is the square root of 100? Definitely the answer will be 10. So our answer here. So for the last side, when you calculate now the when we reach that 100 is equals to c, which is the unknown, which is the hypotenuse. When you get this number now, you do this. You don't find the square, but instead you find the square root. So what is the square root of 100 here? The square root of 100 is 10 meters. So you'll come here and write that the measurement of the hypotenuse is 10 meters. And that is simply good. Now, what do we do? What do we do if we've been given the perpendicular height, we've been given the hypotenuse, then we are asked the base? The formula will still be here. So this is our base. The formula will be b squared is equals to c squared minus a squared. Now, how do you do that? Now, you'll come here and substitute. We'll come here and substitute the formula here, which will be, how do you go about that? So it will be then 8, this is b, which will be 8. The b will be 8 squared. 8 squared is equals to c squared. That will be 10 squared minus a squared. Now our a minus a. Now our a here is what? Our a here is x. Now so this one was our a actually, not b. So we are substituting b squared, that is 8 squared, is equals to c, which is 10 centimeters squared, minus a, which is our x and is unknown. That is what we are simply looking for. So this one will be x squared, because remember the formula, a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. But now you've been asked the base here, the base. So it's just come and do it and substitute the formula. 8 squared is equals to 10 squared minus x squared. Now 8 squared will be 8 squared, we said it's 64, is equals to this side 10 squared is equals to 100. 10 squared is equals to 100. Then what do we do? Minus x squared, which you are doing what? Which you are actually looking for. Now here, what do we do here? Which number crosses the multiplication side? Definitely it will be this one going to the other side. Now when it crosses the equal sign, definitely it will be subtraction. So what do we do? It will be 100 minus 64. 100 is minus 64. It will be now 100 minus 64 is equals to 8. is equals to x squared. 100 minus 64 is equals to x squared. 100 minus 64, not 62. 100 minus 64, it will definitely be 36 is equals to x squared. 36 is equals to x squared. Now, which number do we square to get 36? Which number do we square to get 36? To answer that question is the same as asking yourself the square root of 36, which will definitely be 6. So this area here will be 6 meters square, which is the base. That is how you get, that is how you calculate. Suppose you are asked to find the base. Good. Next one, what happens, let's say you've been given the base and you've been given the hypotenuse, and now you're being asked to find what? To find which you call the perpendicular height. That one you use the formula B, which is the one we're looking for. B is equals to C squared minus A squared. Now, our B squared, which we are asked to find, is actually, then will come here, B squared is equals to C squared, definitely will be 100 minus A squared, which is 36. That is how we'll go about it. Then B squared will be is equals to 100. That is our that is our C squared. So it will be 100 minus 36, which will be 64. So B squared. Now, for us to get B squared, then we'll have to find the square root of what? Of 63. We'll have to find the square root of 64. The same way as I've said before, that we just needed to do it. We just needed to find the square root of this 64, which is equals to 8. Now, you'll be able now to say that B here is equals to do away with this, B here is equals to 8 centimeters. And simply, that is how to deal with, to calculate the Pythagorean relationship. I've given you how to, different methods. I've given you methods on how to find the sides of the sides of this particular right angle triangle. I've given you how to find B, how to find C, and how to find D if you've been given any of the two. Thank you very much. See you again in my next video.